everybody, this is Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the new movie Terminator Dark Fate. Since this movie is new, I'm going to keep it spoiler free and everything, so I won't be posting any spoilers in this video, but I'm going to go ahead and get going. The movie is directed by Tim Miller, who also directed Deadpool, and written by David Goyer, Justin Rhodes, and Billy Ray. Not Billy Ray Cyrus. And it's from a story that's by them, and James Cameron helped write the story for this. And in this movie, Sarah Connor teams up with a person that's sent, a woman sent back in time to protect a young woman named Danny, and everything, from a Terminator that's sent back to kill her. And the Terminator's called a Rev 9, same as, or played by Gabriel Luna, and everything. And also, Arnold Schwarzenegger is back as the T-800 and everything, but I can't really talk a lot about his role because his role kind of would go into the spoiler territory, so I'm not going to really say too much about him, except that he was really good in this movie and everything, but he's not in the movie a lot, so that kind of sucked. I mean, if you're sold on going to see this movie just for Arnold, you're going to be disappointed, because he's only in here for about maybe 30 minutes and everything, like during the last 30 minutes of the movie and everything. So just warn you that it was a lot of false advertising on that part about him being a huge role in this movie. He does play an important role in the movie, but he's not in the movie a lot, if that makes sense. But I think that Linda Hamilton was great again as Sarah Connor. She just went back to the role like she had never left it and everything. I thought that was really cool and everything. She's even more awesome in this movie than she was in the other ones, or at least just as awesome and everything. She was pretty cool in here. Mackenzie Grace is the one that's sent back to protect Danny. She is really good and everything. I thought she was a good character. I think Danny's a really interesting character. Natalie Reese plays her, and I thought she did a really good job and everything. She was a really likable character and everything. And then Gabriel Luna plays Rev 9, and I think that he did a good job for the most part. I just didn't find him as intimidating as some of the previous ones in Terminator movies. Like, I felt like the TX in Terminator 3 was more intimidating than this one and everything, but I thought this was a decent movie. It's not, I don't think it's as good as a lot of people I've heard say it is and everything, but I'm one of those fans that actually have liked all of the films in this franchise, so, except for the fourth movie. I've really liked any of the other ones and everything, but this one is not one of my most favorites in the franchise, largely because of how small of a role Arnold Schwarzenegger is in this movie. I think that really kind of paid into it, but I think this was a decent movie and everything, and it was a decent movie in the franchise. I mean, I don't really feel like any of them are really bad movies and everything, but there are things about this that I like and don't like. Like I said, my biggest negative is Arnold not being in it a lot, and also the CGI in this is absolutely horrible. It has some really, really terrible CGI. There are some times where the CGI is pretty good, but for the most part, the CGI in this movie is absolutely terrible, which really sucks because the Terminator franchise is known for its excellent use of CGI and everything, but man, it just looked absolutely horrible in this movie. It's really sad. Like, you go back to any of the other movies in the franchise before Genesis, I mean, Terminator 3 and Terminator 2 both had really good CGI, and so did even the fourth movie, which I'm not a fan of, had really good CGI for the most part, but this one, the CGI just really sucked and everything, and it kind of took me out of the movie and everything. The action sequences weren't as fun because of the CGI too. I mean, like some of the chase scenes and everything, that would have been a lot cooler if they didn't use the CGI in it But there are some really good action scenes in this movie, though. I'll be lying if I said there wasn't, and everything. But it is refreshing having an R rating for a film in this franchise, since the last two movies didn't, and everything. But I just felt this movie could have been a lot better than it was. But I also think it could have been a lot worse. I mean, this is probably going to be the last Terminator movie, because it obviously hasn't been doing very good in the box office and stuff. And I think that they ended it on a decent note. I personally still think that T2 could have been the ending for this franchise, and it would have been perfect. But and there are things about this movie that I really like that I don't want to go too much into talking about it, though, because of the fact that it would spoil the movie. But one thing that isn't really that much of a spoiler is the events of Terminator 2. Them stopping Judgment Day really did stop it, and everything that's starting in this movie is something new and everything. So I do like that they did do that differently than most of the other sequels, where Judgment Day still came anyway and everything. So I did like that about this and everything. And this, like I said, this one I think I need a rewatch on to say how much I like it, but it's not one of my most favorites, but it's not an absolute garbage movie either. I've heard people say that this is one of the worst movies of the year, and it's far from being that bad, but it's not one of the best either. It's just a mediocre movie, but it's an okay movie. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Terminator Dark Fate. Did you think it lived up to expectations, or do you think they should have ended the franchise with T2 or any of the other films? Let me know in the comments what you think, and hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
That's enough, guys.
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever, just because this is the song that doesn't end.